Hey guys, this video I'm going to be talking about how to find off-market deals in commercial real estate or in residential real estate too, especially the wholesaling world. It kind of applies to that. So I'm a commercial real estate broker. I focus on large manufactured housing communities. I make this video hopefully give you some insight on how to actually find off-market deals if you're just getting started or you're new in the space. Obviously, if you're an experienced investor, you probably already know this. First thing, if you want brokers to shoot you off-market deals, you need to reach out to brokers and introduce yourself. A lot of the good properties we have, we don't market online or market to the public because we have set buyers for each market that we show everything to first, and obviously if something's a screaming deal, they're going to pick it up right away. So you as a first-time buyer, a big thing you could do is figure out what brokers specialize in your niche, your asset class that you're focused on, and introduce yourself, tell them who you are, give them a bio on who you are, and follow up with them every few months to stay on their radar. A lot of times it still might not help though, because if you're let's say you're a first-time buyer and you're calling me, you might tell me, hey, I'm qualified, I have the funds for this, I'm ready to buy my first deal, I'm looking in these markets, and I get something that comes up. The problem is, why should I go with you versus an established buyer in that market that I already know? The established buyer is going to know how to get that deal closed. He knows how to handle with problems because he's closed multiple deals in the past before. So any problems throughout the contract, any problems throughout due diligence, he'll know how to handle it. He already has a relationship with the bank. Meanwhile, you being a first-time buyer, you don't. And I've ran into a few times where I decided to go with a first-time buyer who has a higher offer, but then they can't get financing. Or we find out that the people they're raising money from ended up being an issue. Or they get cold feet in due diligence because they didn't realize how much money they'd have to spend on surveys and environmental reports, etc. So that's the first thing. Reach out to brokers, introduce yourself. Second thing you could do, pretty much what an off-market deal is just a good deal that didn't go to market. It traded before we actually had to list it. So the second way to do it, cold call yourself. You got to find a client yourself. Do your own property research and just call a potential seller direct. Like, let's say you want to buy that office building, then you as the investor, to find that off-market deal, you would just cold call or door knock whoever owns that office building and ask if they want to sell and make them an offer. Obviously that takes a lot of work, and that's kind of where us brokers come in because we specialize in that. We pay a lot of money for research tools that you probably wouldn't want to pay because you're not a full-time broker wheeling and dealing all the time. You just want to make your one investment. So that's another way, just go direct to the seller. Third way is you need to just figure out how to buy your first property. Once you buy your first property, everything I said on the first step of introducing yourself to a broker, we will start shooting you off-market deals if we know you own something. Sometimes maybe you might want to just really be aggressive and get your first deal on your own, because once you have your first deal, then us as brokers can trust you more and we can develop a relationship to keep shooting you more deals. But part of that is be a good buyer. A lot of the people that we shoot our off-market deals to first are really just good buyers. What I mean by good buyers is this: when small stuff comes up in due diligence, you still work through it. So you need to understand when you make your offer on a property, what type of risks are associated with making that offer. So let's say you make an offer at 1.5 based on the underwriting, and then through due diligence you figure out there's going to be some hiccups with the rent roll, some of the collection issues you didn't previously know about, and maybe the NOI is a little bit lower. You need to be able to account for some wiggle room in that and not try and retrade on price and then the whole contract falls apart. You also need to know how to move on a timely fashion and understand how to get everything you need in due diligence done as quick as possible. And that's also on us brokers to make sure it stays together too, but you as a buyer should be a good buyer that's easy to work with. If the broker or the seller asks for something, be a good buyer, and that's going to make us want to get more off-market deals to you for the next time. So just to summarize, top 3 things: 1, develop a relationship with a broker; 2, actually already own that type of asset class; and 3, once you own that asset class, be a good buyer. Hope this video helped you guys out. That's pretty much a good summary of how to find off-market deals in commercial real estate.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.